Let's take a moment and look at what the student sees as they're completing an assignment and then how you can score those. Their dashboard looks a little bit different. They would go to their activities and then click add response. So we're going to start there. And when you look at students can view assignments, they can play the instructions. Notice as that programmed in to use the pen tool to answer the addition problems. When you do that, it actually prompts the student to choose the right tool. So that's a great feature right there. Notice that you could, if this was a really small piece of paper, you've seen some of these addition sheets, you could even have the students make these a little bit bigger. And even for some of your kindergartners, that might be a good skill. And you want to go ahead and choose your pen thickness, and then they can write. Another way they can answer using this is they can move the cursor to where they would like it to be. And there's kind of two steps here. If you want the kids to use a stylus, like if you're teaching handwriting, and you can just get styluses at the dollar store for a dollar. I got mine at Dollar Tree. You have to have the students hold down the trackpad with their left finger, so like click, and then at the same time they're clicking, use their right hand and write their answer. If they're not clicking, I'm going to move my cursor with my right hand just like I normally would. But if they're not clicking, you can see it moves my cursor, but it doesn't engage the pen. So you have to left click, write your answer, and there you go. So then to shrink it back down, I can just make it back to normal size. Sometimes you're writing an assignment and all of these tools are in the way for the kids to work. They can remove the tools after they pick one, and then they can still write their answer. And then they can bring the tools back and switch them up. So let's say the student is finished, or if he, in this case, he's not finished, he could save it until tomorrow as a draft and it will still stay in their unfinished work section until they click the green check. So the student will say is done, clicks the green check. All right, now if I was in activities as a teacher, I can check what's assigned to the class and all right, sorry about that, I was in the wrong spot. But as a teacher, you go to your class journal and click on it. It'll bring up your assignments. Go to the calendar. It will actually tell you that there are some items here to look at. When you click on it, it will bring up the items and it's going to put them in a row, however many students have responded. And if you want to go ahead and score that last one, you can click on it. And as you're working, there are some choices down at the bottom. You can like their answer if you choose. You can comment. When you're commenting, you can type your answer and post it. Or when you're making a comment, you actually can do both. You can type, you can record your voice. Here is my test sample. And then that will be there for the students to listen to. That's great for the kindergartners who can't read your comments that you're writing. Once you test it and you like it, you click the green X. Now this part's important. When we're using skills, we're using them hopefully to track for report cards or maybe to monitor IEP goal. You can see this is tied to a skill, and remember you can always add a skill later, that's not a problem. But click on the graduation cap. It tells you which skill that you tagged it to, and then you can score it. So this student didn't finish, maybe I'm not sending it back to him, so I might give him a 4 because for second grade 4 is the lowest. And then I would click the check and that has scored his work. And then I click out. So So again, this is just slightly different on my end because of the students not being in the class. So I'm going to go ahead and click out of this. And then when I want to see how my students have been doing, I can click on skills. And you can see I have just marked Jason. I had actually graded his paper twice. I'd used his twice to do answers. This means how many answers the students have, how many papers the kids have submitted into that particular skill. The black I know is a 4, so that was his last possible score. It does not average the scores. Now let's say I want to look at all the work at the end of the marking period and see how Jason's doing. I can click in his math and I can take a look at each of his assignments. I can see right here that he received a 4 on this. There are private teacher comments that only you will see. So if maybe you want to make some comment that the student needed extra help or some such thing, you could do that and they would not see that. So it does list, so you could go through and take a quick look and decide what to score the child on their report card. And then you can go back to skills view. And then maybe if you wanted to go back to your journal.